I spent a long time bouncing back and forth, and maybe it's not worth it. Maybe I'm not cut out for it, that type of thing. And I had some good people that own businesses kind of motivate me and help me a lot with that stuff. Alec Faber at Fortitude and Tom Lau Excavating. Both of those guys, I called them quite a bit. And both of them are just do it. You know, it's the scariest thing you're ever going to do, most rewarding thing you're ever going to do. And like, if you got the work ethic, just do it. And a lot of the stuff that you're scared about is because outside sources kind of preach that it's scary. You know, the insurance, the taxes, that's the easiest part of the whole thing. You know, it's cut and dry. You pay what you have to pay. You fill out what you got to fill out. And it's all the other stuff that's the harder stuff, but you know, it's all worth it. And it ain't going to happen unless you just go do it. So.
That's good stuff.
There's no easy way out. I just wanna know there's no easy way out. No easy way out. I'm not asking for another chance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the No Easy Way Out podcast. My name is Tony Nash, and we are coming to you as always from the Woodworth Building in beautiful downtown Owasso, home to my company AZ Business Solutions, where we help grow your brand from A to Z. So today is episode 96, the season finale of season 4, and we brought out all the stops to bring you the best guest so far. And we're excited to introduce to him. But 96 episodes, something we're very, very proud of. 4 seasons of 24 episodes. And we're almost to 100. And we're working on something really cool for episode 100. We've been working on it for a little while. We're hoping we can pull it off. But stay tuned for that. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'd like to introduce you to my guest today. And that is Mr. Dillon Phelps. Dillon, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Good to have you, man.
Yeah,
I know
sure.
we don't know. Yeah, we don't know each other super well. We've talked a little bit. We've interacted on social media. We've talked about doing some work together, which we're still kind of working on.
Yep.
But you are the owner of Rare Fusion MFG and Rare Fusion Welding and Fabrication.
Yep. It's kind of started as Rare Fusion Welding and Fabrication, and then I actually had Brandon at Darker. He kind of helped me on a logo and stuff, and he's like, "Why don't we do MFG? It kind of broadens the horizon a little bit."
Yeah.
And, yep. So that we kind of went with that now, but it bounces back and forth depending on who we're working with. So
Yeah, Brandon's a great dude. He's been he's been on
Yeah.
the episode this season. We're actually moving into his old space down below, which
Yeah.
you've seen a little bit of. You should see it now. It's really coming along. But before we get into Rare Fusion too deep, we're going to talk all about it. But why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
So yeah, my name's Dillon Phelps. Obviously the owner of Rare Fusion, but a dad, husband. Grew up in Corona, Owasso area, so always been around here my whole life. Pretty much never moved too far away. I live in
Hiawassee County.
Yeah,
Man.
it's considered Durand, but it's in between here and Durand. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, kind of a Hiawassee County native and never really left. So
Is it Durand or Durand?
Durand.
That's like
Durand is how I
locally
say
here.
it,
That's
yeah.
like the big debate. Is
Yeah.
it Durand or Durand? I always say Durand.
Yeah,
but
I don't do the Durand.
yeah,
But
that's not me either. I wear a do-rag sometimes, but I don't necessarily go to Durand.
yeah.
So tell us exactly what is Rare Fusion. What do you guys do there?
So custom metal fabrication, anything and everything. I mean, a lot of what you see is handrails, stairs, mezzanines, gates. We do a lot of stainless steel stuff for restaurants, but all custom stuff. So usually I tell people if you can buy it on Amazon, probably don't send it to me because I'm not going to be able to compete with that.
The
but
price, yeah.
you know, stuff
So
that
this is hand built.
has to be built to fit, built to suit. It's all custom, all, you know, heavy duty stuff. So we post a lot of the handrails stuff. Some people think that that's all we do, which they look cool when they're done, so they make for the best pictures and stuff. But we do heavy equipment repair, you know, weld repair, anything and everything, trailers. Yeah, anything metal related, we can make it work. So
Yeah. That's awesome, man. We have talked about you doing some metal work for us here, some hand railing, actually.
Yep.
I got your recommendation from Brandon, and so it's something we are going to do. We're really working hard at finishing our space downstairs before we invest any more money up here, because this space is fully functional and usable. Obviously, there's some, details that would make it go, to the next level that we're working on. But we will do some business together here very, very soon.
For sure.
I know you've talked about a website, so we're excited about helping you guys with all those things.
Exactly.
So how did you come up with the name Rare Fusion?
So I started it 2016, and then it was really kind of fell on the back burner for a while. But actually, we were talking about my sister. We kind of sat down and we were thinking she's the creative kind of artistic type.
Shout out to Chelsea Phelps. She used to work for me third shift at the Comstock Inn.
And we were bouncing names, and I didn't want to be Phelps Welding, Dillon. I wanted something kind of different and cool, and
Something rare.
Honestly, I don't know exactly how it came together. Probably we were writing down words and put two together, and that's just kind of how it stuck. Made it one word with a capital F in there to give it a little different look, and just kind of stuck ever since.
I like it. It's a good name. It's memorable. It sticks out. We were talking about this before the show. We didn't know this till this morning, but your sister used to work for me at the Comstock. She worked third shift, and she's a bit of a creative as well. She's actually
third shift is good. She's a night owl for sure. So
she never called in. Finding third shift people is tough. Third shift people are always a little bit different, a little unique. But Chelsea was always reliable, would always show up. And she actually has interviewed here, and we've talked about when the time is right, maybe bringing her on to be part of the team here at AZ. So
she'd be a good one as far as the creative aspect goes. She's top notch in that stuff.
She was very creative even back then. So certainly not getting to use her creativity sitting at the desk from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. You meet a lot of strange people at that time of night.
Oh, I'm sure. At a hotel for sure.
So you said that you guys offer a variety of things. Handrails is one of the things that kind of gets showcased because it's something that maybe a lot of people need. Yeah, but you guys do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So besides the handrails, what do you think are your top sellers? The things that you guys.
Handrails and stairs, metal stairs, and like the balcony mezzanines type stuff is probably the biggest thing. But we do a lot of repair work. I don't love to do it, but there's a call for it, and
pays the bills.
A lot of people, you're still helping people out. We do a lot of work for farmers and stuff, so that's I like dealing with those people. And honestly, the railings and stuff though is probably the biggest bit, and then just custom stuff. Usually, it's contractors or designers, homeowners, and stuff that they have a vision, but they don't really know how to make it happen.
Bring it to life.
You can't, you can kind of get a picture of this and we want a little of that, and we like bringing all of it together and making something that you can't buy that's different. So
very similar to what we do. I mean, people come to us with an idea and we got to try to help them turn it into something that they can see and show. And so I really very much enjoy that part of the creative process. Do you guys manufacture anything that you sell, like that you inventory and sell, or you mostly do stuff for people, custom stuff?
We don't have like like we said, we're working on a website. We don't have any like products. I have a notebook full of stuff that I want to do eventually when I got time. We manufacture some stuff for other companies that they sell. And so that's good. But we don't personally have anything that we have listed for sale, like a product per se. So
So what is it about this career that you really enjoy? I mean, we're going to talk a little about how you got into it, but what is it that you enjoy about doing this?
Honestly, the dealing with the people. You get to deal with a lot of creative people that aren't maybe considered creative, contractors, architects, stuff like that, who are really creative. I mean, it's an art all in its own. So I'd say the people for sure. And then the creative aspect of it to be able to kind of free range too. So so many times you make something that's a one-off, one of a kind, and to see it come to life. And I enjoy about the design process here. Probably my favorite thing to do. Obviously, I've done everything that we do here, but the thing that I enjoy the most when I have the time is graphic design. Taking an idea that's in my head or that's in someone else's head,
starting with a blank canvas and trying to come up with something that they're really proud of.
Yep.
I enjoy that process. Although it can be disheartening sometimes because you think you met their vision, and then
Yep.
it's harder sometimes to work with someone that doesn't have an idea what they want.
Exactly.
And then you got to try to come up with something, and then you
Yep.
find out
They
that's
want
not
you,
what I want.
they want you to tell them what they want, and then when you do, that's not what they want.
We
So
say that
it's-
all the
yeah.
time. You're like, people don't know what they want until you show them what they don't want.
Exactly. That's a good one. I like that.
So what's going on with Rare Fusion today? What do you want people listening to know about the business and how they can interact with you?
Yeah. So anything that you think that we could probably tackle. I mean, we do new stuff all the time. That's one thing that I take kind of pride in is if we've never done it, we'll do the research, we'll learn how to do it. And, we're not going to do it the wrong way or just guess. Like we put in the effort to learn the correct way, but anything that you think that we might be able to help with metal wise, fabrication, any of that stuff, just give us a call and we can definitely take care of it. We're busy. It's still just me and I got a couple guys that are part-time, so it's spread a little thin, but it's good. We're busy and we're glad to be that way. So
That's awesome. So you guys are mostly commercial or residential?
No,
or
we
a little
do
mix of both.
We do commercial, residential, industrial. So we do factory work, the boring round handrails, safety gates, stuff like that. And then we do the custom, super fancy, pretty aesthetic, pleasing, big lake houses and stuff like that. So we're kind of A to Z, like
Very
you guys
cool.
are. So
Very cool.
which keeps it fun too. So it's not same thing over and over again. I know you asked about the manufacturing part of it, and I've done that job before, and I don't like the repetition part. So
Yeah, my father worked in a factory for like 40 plus years, and hats off to him. I mean, he never loved the job, but he went every day and just did it, took care of his family. When I got out of high school, I remember he was a forklift driver. I remember as a kid riding through the shop with him on the forklift. I'm like, this would be the greatest place ever to work.
Yep.
And my dad's like, don't say that. You don't want to work here. You can do more. You can do better. He would always tell me, he wanted me to do more. And I remember when I graduated high school, I went and got a job, right there. I'm like, I'm going to work at the factory. And they hired me. And I think my dad was intentionally tougher on me than everybody else because he did not want me to get comfortable there.
for sure.
But that life of that manufacturing work, like every day, showing up at the shop at
windows,
5 a.m.,
right.
it's dark, it's hot, everybody's in a bad mood, nobody's happy. There's there's no fun. You just are watching the clock for that break. I almost said recess. The break bell, like just to get 10 minutes of stopping.
Yep.
And then standing on a line and just stacking the same thing all day, every day, never changes. And so one of the things I love about the creative field is every day is a little different. Every day is a new challenge. Every day is a new project. Every day is a new way to use my brain. And I really, really enjoy that. And that's not to diminish manufacturing work. That we
Exactly.
need good manufacturers, and some people like that predictable type of.
Yep.
But my personality does not fit well with that.
Me either. And I've done it. I've done a lot of different things, and I found out pretty quickly that that wasn't me. And you got to make money, you got to support yourself, support your family. And I'll never talk bad about any profession at all. But I just knew it wasn't for me. So
Right. That's
that
the
was
key.
that was goal number one, to get out of that and do something more.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think I want to hit on that for a second because you've mentioned that twice. Like a lot of entrepreneurs go wrong because they only want to do the things that they are passionate about, and they only want to do the things that they enjoy and the things that are fun to them. And sometimes you just have to do work to put food on the table, to
Yep.
pay the bills, to keep the lights on, to pay the employees. Sometimes you got to take those jobs that are just that consistent business, you know? And if you work hard, then someday you might be able to get to the point where you can only take the business you want to take. But if you're not willing to take the small jobs and take the boring jobs and take the uninspiring jobs at the beginning, especially, you're just never going to make it.
yeah, especially at the beginning. And then even like I said, we do a lot of repair work for farmers and stuff like that. And I don't love that work, but those are the customers that you make a personal relationship with, and they're going to come back
Repeat.
when the big jobs are dried up for a month or two. Those are the guys that keep you alive. So you
Absolutely.
gotta keep those people happy too, and treat them just like a $50,000 contract. So
Absolutely right. That's the right mindset, and that's going to help you continue to be successful. So I always send my guests a little questionnaire to kind of get to know a little bit about them as I'm researching them, especially someone who I don't know really well. So
Yep.
going through their social media and whatever I can find about them online to learn them. So I always send a questionnaire to kind of get to know them and what they're about. And so I always send everyone the same 10 questions. And so let's just go through those right now. First of all, favorite place you've ever been. You said Breckenridge, Colorado.
Yep.
Our very own Casey Lambert, our sales and marketing director, just got back from there. He
Yep.
went with his brothers and went and did some skiing. So what do you love about Breckenridge?
So only been there once, and it was 2 months ago. Me and some buddies went out there, and it was just beautiful. For one, I mean, winters here, you kind of get gypped because you're cold and it's muddy, and you don't get to do any fun winter stuff. So we went out there snowboarding. All the people super nice. You know, they're from all over the place, so it's kind of a vacation sort of spot. And you know, we met people from Michigan and everything, all super nice. A lot of little hole in the wall restaurants and stuff like that. And it definitely doesn't make you want to snowboard around here really anymore. But
But at McCurdy Park.
yep. So
Shredding down the 30-foot hill.
yeah, and so that might change, you know, when we go somewhere else. But right now, that was
place.
a fun trip, and that's on the top of the list for right now. So
Yeah, from Michigan my whole life. I've never been skiing. I never liked sledding as a kid.
yeah,
I guess maybe just I'm not a big fan of being cold.
Yeah.
I know when you go skiing, you have enough gear on that you're really not that cold, but it just never looked fun to me. But everyone I've ever talked to that's gone said,
yeah,
you know, I got a lot of I'm a big dude, so I got a lot of body mass. I think if I get that momentum going downhill,
Getting it
there's
stopped
no
is
stopping it, man. It's like a freight train. So I just think I'm just going to keep on my own 2 feet. And,
yeah.
So, random fact about you: you said you raced motorcycles professionally till 2017. Actually, looking through your social media, I saw a lot about that. So,
Yep.
tell us about that.
So that was started when I was 4 years old. My dad and uncle both raced, and then just kind of got into it. And
4 years old.
yeah,
Wow.
that was kind of the passion for a long time, and probably still be doing it. I raced once 2 years ago after a lot of time of being off, and realized how not in shape I was and rusty I was. So that kind of detoured me, but been busted up quite a few times and stuff. So that kind of put
It's a damper on it.
Yep. And then kids and stuff come along, and then it's, you got other things to worry about than
That's
yourself.
true. I mean,
so
you start having kids, and you start, you start thinking about things differently. And I've always been kind of a pretty worry-free dude. I roll with the punches. I don't get overly stressed about things, but I find the older I get, the more like I get worried about little things that never worried me before. Like yesterday, my son went in for a routine surgery, like to have a screw put in his hand. And like, I'm sitting in the waiting room, and they put him under the anesthesia, and I'm just like finding myself like worried and checking the board. I'm like, what is wrong with me? That's getting old. Cause like before I would always just be like, it's going to work out. I've always been like the eternal optimist, but you start having kids and things just change. You realize like if I get hurt, that's going to affect them and my wife. And
exactly. And that's what a guy told me once when we were racing. Like, as soon as you're scared, you're not going to go as fast. You're not going to do as good. So like, as soon as I started thinking about other things than just going fast and trying to win, it was like, maybe it's time.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. The moment you start getting scared about stuff, because
time to hang up the boots a little bit. And
I watch these guys, jumping on those dirt bikes and, getting this close to other guys. And I'm like, dude, that's. But you'd have to have like a no fear mentality to be good at that.
Exactly. And I was pretty lucky. I mean, broken collarbones and wrists, and I fractured a few vertebrae in my back, and that was kind of the serious one that scared me. But I've had a lot of friends and stuff get hurt really bad, and some pass away and stuff. And that's like, when you see that, it's like
an eye opener.
And I was never good enough either. So like, I always had to try a lot harder, and I never had quite the pure skill to really excel in it.
Make it a career.
Exactly. So
what's the worst wreck you've ever been in?
The one where I fractured my back is at it's called I don't know what it's called. The Dort Federal now is an indoor ice race. So screws in your tires.
Ice race?
Yep, you're on ice.
Oh, goodness.
And so you're going slow. You're on a hockey rink. Yeah. But when you fall, you're going faster than you were when you're on the bike because you're sliding. So I fell kind of over top of somebody's bike like this and slid into they have hay bales around the boards. The only thing I didn't want to break my neck, so I tucked my head and I hit right across my shoulders and it just compressed a couple vertebrae in my back and did the whole wiggle your toes and stuff. And that was the worst, going the slowest, and just kind of a fluke deal. So
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Racing
they
on
do it
ice.
every year. It's a big fundraiser thing. It's like a boys and girls club thing. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a good event and stuff. We still go every year, but I watch from above
You
now.
watch
Yeah,
from a distance at this point.
yeah.
All right, stranded on a desert island, one CD to listen to forever. You got here Zach Bryan, American Heartbreak. I'm not
Yep.
familiar with that one.
It's a good one. There's few faster songs on it, so it's not. But there's a lot of songs that are kind of slower and.
What's the genre?
It's country.
Oh, country.
Yep.
Okay.
Not like the new pop country.
Familiar with
It's
Zach
more-
Brown, but not Zach Bryan.
No, Zach Bryan. Yeah, look him up.
I'm not a big country guy, so
He's not like the typical Luke Bryan
Yeah.
sort of pop country. I like him. So
more of a
Yeah.
soulful.
yep, he writes all his own songs, and you can tell. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like country that that has a lot of like instrumental and music.
Yep.
It reminds me a little bit of like 80s rock.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's-
some of the more like twangy modern pop stuff.
Yeah, I'm not either, and he's a lot more raw, like no auto tune type of stuff. Like,
Right.
yeah, so maybe a good one to check
You don't
out.
like auto-tune?
It's got its purposes. Maybe
Yeah.
put it on my voice for
There
this
you-
podcast.
there
Might
you
help
go.
me out a little bit.
That could be
but-
fun. This one's funny here. Totally irrational fear of being late. Dan texted me that you were 20 minutes early or maybe more.
Yeah.
I am perpetually late.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like I wouldn't call it a fear, but I have like this almost like small anxiety about being super early.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Like if I know I'm leaving somewhere and I'm going to show up like 15 minutes early, I will find something else to fill my time with because
Yeah.
I worry, and this is maybe how you know you have your schedule packed too tight. Like I worry that if I get there, I'm wasting time. Like and so then I end up being late, and it's not good. I've had people, tell me I don't care about other people's time and all of these things, and I really don't believe that's what it is. But there's something that I think it comes down to a consistent like overestimation of what I can get done in 5 minutes
Yeah,
or where I
exactly.
can get in 5 minutes, or like I know I'm driving somewhere and it takes 20 minutes to get there. If there's no traffic lights, if there's no stops in anything,
Yep.
but if anything goes wrong, I miss it. So
Yeah, I'm 15 minutes early to everything, and it's kind of a blessing and a curse, but
I wouldn't call that a curse.
I'll get like the little bit of anxious feeling, like I gotta make sure that it's opposite of you. I'm like, well, if traffic's bad or if I gotta do this, and
Like
if
a
it
normal
takes me 5
person.
minutes longer at the bank or whatever. But
Yeah.
one of my old bosses, it's actually my father-in-law now, is like 15 minutes earlier, you're late.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like that before, and that really kind of instilled it on me. But honestly, with that, it was like when somebody was telling me I had to be 15 minutes early, then it was like I was right on time.
Yeah.
It was like, well, I'll do it if I want to do it, but
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
got to spend some time together because I got to fix this. Like
Yeah.
one of my goals is, before I turn 45, and that's 3 years away. So I'm probably giving myself way too much time. I should say like this is a New Year's resolution, but I know myself, but I got to get this thing fixed because, I don't want to be late for the
yeah,
rest of my life.
buddies give me a hard time. That trip that we went on to Colorado, we left at like 5 a.m, and he's like, be here at 5. Like, don't knock on my door at 4:30. Don't be. So I'm like sitting in the driveway on my phone at 4:45. Like, he's gonna be mad.
Waiting.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. So favorite movie and TV show. Your movie is Four Brothers and The Shack.
Yep.
I don't know The Shack. I know Four Brothers.
Four Brothers is like a good one that whenever it's on TV, like
Yeah.
it's a good watch. The Shack was one that I seen on like Netflix or Amazon or something that I heard a lot about, watched it. It's kind of makes you think, kind of reassess your life a little bit.
Oh, really?
It's kind of I would say religious a little bit movie, but I feel like it could be like a religious kind of movie in more ways than just, whatever you're into.
Sure.
And then, but Four Brothers, that's, if it's on, it's
a classic.
We're playing it. Yep.
So is this The Shack? You said it's on Netflix?
I can't remember. It's on one of them, Amazon or Netflix.
Is
Or
there
those are the
anyone
only.
that we would know in it?
Tim McGraw's in it actually
Tim McGraw, okay.
for a minute, and
He's actually a good actor.
yeah, yep. And the main actor, that's the only thing I've ever seen him in. So, but
And then your favorite TV show is How I Met Your Mother.
yep, that's another one that you can turn it on. You don't really have to watch it, but
Yeah.
it's funny and There's a million episodes, so
I had a lot of people tell me I've actually never seen an episode. I love comedy.
Yep.
I love The Office and Parks and Rec and Seinfeld. So
It's very
a lot of people
comparable,
tell me
yeah.
it's funny. So I'll have to check that one out. All right, one last meal. This is actually what I had for dinner last night. Big bowl of spaghetti, garlic bread, and Caesar salad. Like that was my exact meal.
Yep.
So hope that doesn't mean something. Like, I hope I get
Yeah.
one more. I haven't eaten since then, so I got to get another meal in. So tell us why that meal.
it's just good. My wife, when she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" and like if she gives me the option, and like that's my go-to. Easy to
pasta
make,
guy, yeah.
filling. Probably not the healthiest, but you get salad in there, so it's
There you go.
It's good.
Some-
Yeah, just it's a good like all A to B on it. It's start to finish. It's good.
Well,
So,
here's the important question. Are you a cook all the pasta and then put the sauce on it right before you eat, or cook the pasta with the sauce?
put the sauce on before you eat.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you like get the raw pasta and then you just add the sauce?
Yep.
Yeah,
Then,
see.
like cook the sauce in a pan.
Yeah.
You know, and then you add how much you want. Some people don't like a lot. Some people like more.
Wow.
But then leftovers, you just mix it all together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, my mom always just cooked it all as one, like the pasta with the sauce.
Yep.
So that's just all I knew is spaghetti. I remember the first time I went to a friend's house and they bought me this like just raw plate of pasta.
Bowl
I'm
of
like,
noodles.
What am I supposed to do with this? And then they bring sauce and like you dump it on and it's a completely different experience, right?
Yeah.
It's completely different.
I'd say that's the way. There's probably not a right way or wrong way, but that's my way of doing it. So.
But here's what I love about spaghetti. I think spaghetti, I'm not a huge leftovers guy, but spaghetti is better the next day.
Yeah, a lot of pastas like that,
Yeah.
lasagna, all of it.
Yeah, so like sometimes my wife, when we're gonna have spaghetti, she'll cook it like the day before and let it sit, and then we just reheat it the next day, put a little butter in it, and
Yeah,
it's amazing. So
I'm not big on super hot food either. Like my food's like lukewarm. when I eat
Lukewarm?
it. Yeah. My wife, she eats stuff like scalding hot. I don't even know how she tastes it, but
yeah, not me either.
yeah.
Any job in the world, you said NASCAR crew chief. Who's the driver?
Anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I before I started my own thing, I worked at a fab shop before that, but the job before that, I worked on a late model race car team, doing all the fabrication work, helping with all the setup work and stuff, and then we'd go to the races on the weekends. And obviously, always been around racing and stuff, and that's the one I told you. My father-in-law was the boss. That's how I met my wife and everything, but. The sport gets kind of a bad rap. You know, it's kind of the hillbilly sport, sort of redneck. But the guys in the garage are like, there's no smarter people
Yeah.
in any sport than those
can
guys.
imagine.
So, and there's a lot to it.
yeah. There's way more than turning wrenches when it
Yeah.
comes to getting
Yeah.
like,
Geometry
all
and-
the stuff they'll do to get like a half a mile faster out of those cars.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
That's, like qualifying was always when you're not the driver or the rider, like bikes and stuff. Like qualifying is more in the crew guy's hands because it's all about the car. Pretty much, it's just the fastest lap you can, and there's so much stuff that you back the brake pads off, so there's no drag at all, and everything's greased, and it was fun. But,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, it seems to me like that'd be a very stressful job. Like in the pit crew, like those guys that like when they get a pit stop and they
Yeah.
gotta like turn it out in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, those
That
guys
seems
are
like-
another breed. Most of them are like ex-football players.
Oh,
and,
really?
yeah, they're big dudes. Like,
I can imagine.
yeah.
All right, Hollywood made a movie about you. Who would cast you? You said Andrew Lincoln. I had to look up who that was. That's the Walking Dead guy.
Yep.
I can see it.
Yep, I went to the wife for a little. I feel weird saying like,
who's
some really
gonna play me?
handsome guy
Yeah.
probably, but so I asked her and that's who we
who
just
she
got
said?
done rewatching that whole series, so that's who she said.
She
But
said Andrew Lincoln. Okay. I could also see, he's not an actor, but I could see Aaron Rodgers. You look a little like Aaron Rodgers. Anyone ever told you that?
no.
Really?
No,
I
I've
can see
heard
it.
I don't really like to admit it. I've heard Nicolas Cage, probably the big nose, and some stuff like that.
That's legendary.
Yeah. Lexi says I look like Trevor Lawrence, also big nose,
Trevor
long
Lawrence,
hair
okay.
probably, but so
Yeah, I don't see Trevor Lawrence. Maybe if he shaved.
yeah,
Yeah,
clean,
maybe if he shaved.
baby
Clean
face.
shaven. All right. Proudest moment, achievement. Love this. You said absolutely becoming a dad.
For sure.
How
Yeah.
many kids do you have?
One who's a little over 2, and then one on the way right now. So
All right. So you're
About
just
to get
getting
bigger,
started,
yeah.
man. Do you know how many you're going to have?
I say 2, but I know we have one boy, and I know if this one's a boy, she's not gonna let me probably only have 2.
Yeah.
But I'm good with whatever. Really, I was fine with 1, 2, 3, however many. It doesn't.
Well, I'll tell you. So my wife and I said one of each, and then we had 3 boys right in a row.
Yeah.
So we kept trying. And then we finally had a girl, and then we mistakenly had a girl, and then we adopted my niece. So we ended up 3 boys, 3 girls. I'd say after 2, you don't see much of a difference.
That's
as
what
long
I've
as you
heard.
don't have like 2 toddlers at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But after 2, like then they actually just like become each other's friends. They start entertaining each other. Like
Yep.
you and your wife can actually like go watch a movie in your room while the kids kind of just entertain themselves. So I mean, I think 1 and 2 were the hardest. Like, but then after we started at like 3, 4, 5, it was just like, we
Yeah.
got this now. So
Yep.
yeah, but being a dad is incredible. It's
Yeah,
an
there's
incredible
nothing
experience.
that motivates you more than that. And
Changes everything.
Yep, for sure.
Our buddy Dan here is getting ready to be a dad this summer.
That's awesome.
First time.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're very excited about them having a baby, a little AZ baby.
Yeah,
they're gonna name the baby AZ.
People try to convey to you how it is, and it's like you till it happens, you don't know. So
Yeah, I remember I used to work when I was younger. I worked for a company called Lansing Tile, and we had this young guy come in. He was younger than most of us, and he had a baby. And he comes in just gushing over, guys, it was the most beautiful experience. You can't believe it. It's unbelievable. And we're just like razzing him, like, dude, shut up. Don't be so soft. Like, we're just killing the guy. But you know, he's just trying to share this moment with his guy friends, and we're all just killing him.
Yep.
But it's really something you can't explain. It's just
No. And
you know,
yeah, when it's not yours, you know, birth, all that's like, you know, it's, kind of
exactly.
something you don't want to be anywhere near. But like, you know, when it's your kid and you just like making sure everything's all right and like you want to be right there, and for sure.
I've actually, until I had a newborn, I had never held a baby in my life. I just wouldn't hold people's babies. I'm like, it made me nervous. Like, what if I drop this thing?
I think I held one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't. But then when you have your own, it's just, you know, I love my wife, but sometimes with a spouse, you like have to make yourself love that person. You're like, all right, you're being annoying, you know, you're getting on my nerves, get out of my sight for a minute. You have fights, but you just stay committed to it. But with your kids, it's like you never have to make yourself love that. And kids can frustrate you, and they can, you know, make you upset and annoy you, but this the love you have for a child, it's not like anything else I can describe.
Yeah. And yeah, like I'm not a very patient person, and like he's taught me so much with patience and
Kids will
stuff like
teach you
that.
patience
And
for sure.
And like nothing matters when, you know, you got your little buddy with you and stuff, like stuff that used to bother you. And, you know, I'm kind of a perfectionist and stuff. And like, I was looking at it the other day, like our stainless steel fridge all scratched up from magnets and stuff moving around. I'm like,
Handprints
used to be
everywhere.
like, I'd have, you know, like, I don't care.
Keep it
Like,
clean.
whatever, you know,
Yeah,
he's happy.
I don't think we've had a clean front of our stainless steel fridge in about 15 years.
Yeah.
Every time I'll get the stainless steel cleaner out, get it all polished up. I'm like, why can't it look like this? And then next day, it's just like,
Yeah.
we even clean the thing. But yeah, you start to learn what's important and what's not.
Exactly.
And just enjoy it. And you know, how old is he? You said he's
2 in November, so he's a little over 2.
He starts getting to the age where you're able to start having conversations with him, like real conversations. Like I remember when my boys got to the point where like I could ask them questions and they could comprehend what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And then when you can get them to start doing stuff with you, like coming into the shop and
Exactly,
tinkering around
yeah.
and they're enjoying it, or playing sports with them or whatever, getting them their first dirt bike, whatever it is, you know, that's just a really cool experience. And then last one wish besides unlimited wishes. What would you wish for? I love this one. I wish that cell phones were never invented.
Yeah, for sure.
Seems like life was much simpler. Were you
Yeah.
around when there were no cell phones?
No, not really.
How old are
like
you?
Not so. I'm 26.
Oh, just a baby.
26.
Just
yeah.
a baby.
So they've always been there, but not like they are now.
Yeah.
And I like we didn't get our first cell phone until we were like 14, 15. Now
Yeah.
like 6-year-old kids got them and stuff, and it's just they're useful, but it's like, and I'm not guilty in any way. Like I'm scrolling all the time, and I hate it. But
Yeah, they can become they can be a very useful tool, but they can also dominate your life. And it's
Yeah.
always funny when you get the screen report at the
Yeah.
end of the screen time report. You're like, oh my goodness, I was on
Yeah.
my phone that much. But I remember a time where we didn't have cell phones. Like the first, I mean, there was always like these like portable phones in the 80s and 90s, like these giant, you know, like Zach Morris type phones. They had the bag phones where people would like carry on a bag, and it literally had like a receiver with a dialer on it. There were car phones for like really rich people. Like if someone had a limo, there might be a car phone in it. And it was super expensive. Like if you had a cell phone in the 90s, the early 90s, it's like $5 a minute to make a phone call. I mean, so we knew they were around, but nobody had them. You know, rich people had them. And then probably in the early 2000s, they started coming out with like these little mobile phones that you could buy. And back then, it was about who could get the smallest phone. You know, the little flip phones. Like, look how small my phone is.
Yeah.
And then the smartphone came out in like 2007, 2008, and that just changed. I mean, even when there was just a phone where you could just call somebody, it didn't really seem to disrupt society that much. It didn't dominate because there was nothing to do on the phone other than make a phone call. This was before text messaging. And then I remember when text messaging came out, you didn't have a numeric keypad. You had the 9 numbers, and each of the numbers had 3 letters on it.
I had those.
To push it like 3 times to text an A.
Yeah.
So it was like, it wasn't worth text messaging anyone. But then when the smartphone came out, and then they started having apps, and I remember when I got my first BlackBerry, I had this little like Qualcomm or Motorola flip phone. Yeah. I went to the Verizon store with a buddy, and they were showing me this BlackBerry that had the numeric keypad where you could like type on it. And he's like, it has internet. And I'm like, can you watch YouTube on this thing? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, if you can play a YouTube video for me right now, I will buy this phone right now. Yeah. And he pulled up a YouTube video, and I was like blown away.
Yeah, and it can consume you quick. Like, and you know, I'll like swear off of it, and I'll be good for like a month or so, and then I find myself back, you know, and I do in the shop now. I'll just plug my phone in and play Netflix, like How I Met Your Mother, something like that, and just let it run. And it sounds counterproductive, but it keeps me off my phone. You know, at lunchtime I'll unplug it, answer emails, text and stuff, and that helps me a lot. But because if not, you get sucked in quick and just scrolling. So
I think if I were to have a wish along that line, I might not wish that we had no cell phones, because I like the convenience of it, especially now that I have teenage kids. Yeah, it is nice when they're gone to be able to get a hold of them or track them on Life 360. But I would say I wish social media was never invented. Yeah. I don't think social media has benefited our society at all.
No, I mean, it might make, even at that, like starting a business or something, you have a lot more at your reach to get that message out there. But for all the bad it brings, I feel like it outweighs it.
I feel like the bad outweighs the good. Certainly is a nice tool. We use it for our business constantly. That's how we get our podcast out. Yeah. But there were ways to get your stuff out before that. You know, we've adapted to it, but you know, what social media has done to our society and divided people, and you know, the type of the too much information, like you know too much about people.
You know every bad thing that's happening in every
every good thing, and it's just like, so there is too much information. But yeah, I think times were, you know, much simpler. People talk to each other. One of the things I think that cell phones and text messaging has taken away is people don't communicate anymore. Yeah. Like to look each other in the eye like we're doing now and have a conversation is a challenge for a lot of people. Like they don't know how to do it. And they would rather text or email than actually just pick up the phone and call somebody. And so we are losing that communication in our society. So, you know, if you run for office and you run on the platform of banning cell phones, then I'll vote for you.
I don't know if anyone else would, but
I'll vote for you, man.
And I don't want nothing to do with
politics.
Office.
I'm with you there, man. We were involved in several political campaigns this last 2 years. And man, I'm just like, I was so tired of politics by the end of these campaigns. Like the way people act when it comes to their,
I can't imagine.
People like worship who they're going to vote for. Yeah. You know, like they think that like this politician is the answer to all their problems.
To change their life, yeah.
Or this politician is the reason for all their problems. Like, and so people blame all their problems on politicians or look to politicians for all the answers. And they're just people like you and I.
Everyone loves to have that scapegoat, you know, for why you don't have money or why you don't have this or that. And it's
the victimhood mentality. Yeah. Do you have your phone with you right now?
I do.
All right. I'm going to send you a photo. We have this segment called Explain That Post.
Oh boy.
And there wasn't a whole lot of, you know, incriminating stuff, but I thought this one was kind of funny, and this kind of goes along with what we're talking about. So I'm sending you a picture right now. Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
So I should be. Do you have AirDrop on? I don't think I actually. Oh, there we go. Yep, it's coming to you right now.
Yep. Got it.
All right. So what's going on here? Is this how you hold your children, or?
Well, only one's mine, the upside down one. The other one's Chelsea's daughter.
She's looking at you like, please don't do that to me.
We're still warming up to each other. We're getting there though. That's
Yeah.
Chuck. Her name's Charlie Joe, and she's adorable. But Uncle Dillon's still.
Still a stranger.
Yeah, we're getting there. So
Your boy looks like he's having the time of his life. Just
he's
upside
like-
down, hanging.
he's all
like,
boy.
This is awesome.
play is rough and wrestle and spin and yeah.
My sister has 2 daughters, and man, I love my nieces, and it took them forever to warm up to me, you know. But now, like, they see me, they come running up. I love you, Uncle Tony, and it's just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Coolest thing ever. All right, let's talk a little bit about your journey, how you got here. You said you were born and raised in Owasso.
Yep.
Went to school at Corona. Okay,
yeah.
Cavaliers.
Yep.
And then did you go to college anywhere?
Yeah, for a minute. So
relate.
like a week left of senior year, I was sitting in construction trades with some buddies, and we're all kind of looking at each other like, well, what are we doing after this? And my one buddy, he's like, I got no idea. And another kid said he's going to LCC. He's going to move into this apartment complex. And me and him, the first one I was talking about, we looked at each other like, well, let's do that. I guess
sounds
like
like
we got to do something, you know. And that's kind of the mentality that they kind of shove into you. That like you got to do something.
Have to go to college.
And so we did that. And I spent like a couple weeks like, what do I want to do? And so like somehow 17-year-old me was like, I'm going to be a vet, I guess. So anyways, like 2 semesters at LCC.
Do you love animals?
I,
Or just all you could come up with?
Like animals.
It
It just sounded
the-
like something to help people, and I don't know. But so like 2 semesters of college, I realized like I wasn't even going to make it to like an associate's degree, let alone a doctorate or something. So ixnayed that. Came home and got a job. Yep. So not the, most prestigious look on college, but
No, but look at you now. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the trouble. Like they pump college so much into kids. Like going to college is the most responsible thing you can do.
Yep.
And it's the thing that most people should be proud of you for because you decided to go to college. And I'm not knocking college. I have 2 kids in college right now. But it's not for everybody.
No.
And
not at
to
all. think
think that any 18-year-old kid knows what the rest of their life is going to look like. I mean, it's so rare.
Yeah.
I'd say probably 98% of 18-year-olds don't really know, and they don't have the life experience to really even know what they could do, or and
Exactly.
so I think trade schools are highly undervalued. I think just the mentality of work hard
Yeah.
and find your path is
For sure.
undervalued. I think there are some people that absolutely 100% should not go to college. It's a waste of money for some people. Same for me. I went for 1 semester, and it
Yeah.
was the biggest waste of money because I just goofed off the whole time.
Exactly.
I think there are some people that absolutely should 100% go to college because the field that they're going into requires that level of education. Medical field, law enforcement, any kind of attorney, lawyer. There are a lot of professions that you need that kind of college education to get in. But just going for a general studies or marketing degree or business degree, I mean, I've had several people that we've hired here with a 4-year degree in graphic design or a 4-year degree in PR or marketing. And they'll tell me, man, I've learned more about this business in 3 months working here than I learned in 4 years of college.
Yep.
And so, I'm not anti-college, but I'm anti the way they push it and how much money.
Exactly.
I mean, I have friends that are my age that still have thousands and thousands of dollars in college debt that they'll
Yep.
never pay off.
Or the path that they require you to take for, you're taking classes completely unrelated to anything. And it's like,
right.
it's unfortunate, but yeah, some people need it. Some people prosper tremendously from it.
For sure.
Definitely not me. I know people that have, and I mean, they make great money and they love what they do, but it's also unfortunate to see people that go through the whole thing and do the steps, and then 6 months into their career, they hate it because
Right.
you don't get any real world experience in that job, or, and it's just, it looked good on paper. And so that's what we did. And
Well, I tell my kids, in terms of college, I don't make them go to college. I tell my kids, I want you to go away from home for a year after high school. So my oldest daughter, she's getting ready to graduate college here in May. My oldest son, he went down to college in Florida. He's just going for 1 year, and he decided to just go and get some experience. Because I also think there is a value to life experience away from your hometown.
For sure.
And away from your mom and dad, and have to do your own laundry and do all those
Cook
things.
your dinner and
My son Isaiah is actually going to Japan this summer for 3 months.
oh wow.
And he has an opportunity to go out there and work with a missionary and play basketball every day, which he loves basketball. So I think he'll graduate on a Sunday, and on Monday he'll be flying to Japan, and he'll be there.
Yeah.
17 years old. But what a great experience for a kid to go and be away from their hometown.
Yeah.
And learn, I said, go there with an open mind and think about like what you really want to do with your life. And I think if parents and educators taught kids to really analyze what it is they love, what are they passionate about, and how they can turn that into a career, instead of looking at, well, here's my career choices, like which one should I pick?
Yeah.
And so I think it's something that people really need to put a lot of thought into.
Yeah. For sure.
So what was life like then? I mean, I know you're a young guy, but what was life before Rare Fusion? I know it was motorcycle racing. Was that pretty much it?
That was it. Like every dime I made, I still lived at home. Every dollar went into racing and traveling. And I did, when I kind of realized that like I didn't have quite the skill set to pursue it and make money at it and stuff, I started doing a lot of wrenching and kind of crew chiefing and traveling all over with my buddy Ben. A lot more skill there than there was with me, and that was really fun. I ended up getting a job at a factory, welding, production welding, which I hated. I made it like 2 months.
Yeah.
Went and got a job at a furniture company making custom furniture, like doing all their metal work and some woodwork and stuff. And then after that, I got the job with Durbite Motorsports, which was the race car team. And that was probably the funnest job I've ever had as far as like working for somebody. Gone all the time, all summer long. You're gone from Thursday to Sunday or Monday. And so I knew like once I had kids and stuff that I didn't want to probably do that anymore. But that opened up a lot of avenues and people. And I met my wife through there and married the boss's daughter. So
Overachiever.
yeah. And they ended up going kind of a different route, and they dispersed that team. And I went and got a job at a fabrication shop doing custom fab work. And right off the get-go, I knew I didn't want to do it long, and I wanted to do my own. Rare Fusion started a long time ago and kind of was on the back burner. I still had, all my stuff and the name and the Facebook page, but that was pretty much it. And so I started pursuing that a lot more, working on getting better at social media and stuff like that, and getting out there and getting jobs and never, ever turning a job down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of work from 6 a.m. to 3 at work, come home, work from 3:30 to midnight on my stuff, and do it the next day. And then weekends we're working in my shop on my own stuff. And but I had that end goal in mind, and it took a while to work up the courage to do it.
I can imagine.
I give a lot of credit to my wife. She was out from day one. She's like, quit. I'll work more. I'll do whatever.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. She had a nice car, and so she's like, we'll sell that and I'll get whatever. And, she was way more confidence in me than I had, at least at that time. And so, yeah, she's number one supporter and team player. But finally, when I decided to do it, we had a vacation planned. Her family lives in Florida in the summers. So we went down there, and I was having kind of a bad day at work, and I said, hey, leaving for Florida this day, coming back this day, but I'm not coming back to work. And my boss, super good dude, I still deal with him 4 times a week, getting materials and stuff. And he kind of laughed, and he's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I knew from the day you started working here that like you were going to do your own thing one day.
That's cool.
And so really cordial, left, gave him a month in advance, trained a new guy, left on good terms, and been kind of head down ever since, just working on Rare Fusion full time. So
that's awesome. I mean, that's what the journey's about. I mean, like we just talked about not going to school, but you going out and trying things, when you're between 18 and 25 without a family, that's the easiest time in life to be broke.
Yeah, exactly.
To drive a busted up car, to live on ramen noodles, to have a crappy apartment or live with your parents or whatever. Like, it's the easiest time in life to be broke. So go try and figure out what sticks, figure out what works. It's not about being lazy. It's about, figuring out what am I passionate about, because I heard a statistic a long time ago that 94% of Americans hate their job. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to be that guy. Like, I'm not going to just, go every day to a job that I hate, because life's too short to do that. And, I'm willing to do anything it takes to take care of my family. It's not about being too proud to do any kind of job, but it's about, if I can do something that I love and provide for my family, then why would I not do that? And going on that journey of failing, getting back up, trying something that you didn't like, quitting a job, getting fired, those are all things that kind of mold you into being able to do something. And everybody's not an entrepreneur.
No.
Everybody doesn't have to be.
Just like everybody doesn't need to go to college and stuff. It's,
exactly. It's about figuring out what works for you. What were you put on this earth to do? I asked you a question in the questionnaire about a notable achievement or some of your notable achievements. I love your answer, man. You said becoming a father, marrying my wife, and starting my company. And that's the order you put it in. And I just thought that was a really good answer. You don't hear a lot of people say that.
Yeah. I'm kind of known for the business thing, as far as like people meeting me and stuff. That's usually why they're meeting me, and which I'm very proud of it and passionate about it. But if it, I could never be the guy that puts work above family type of thing. And that's kind of why I chose that path, is because it frees your time up a lot more. As far as being able to pick and choose, there's long hours and stuff, but I can do it at nighttime, in the middle of the night. I love waking up with, your son and watching Toonies and eating breakfast. And, that's my favorite part of the day. So,
well, listen, man, hold on to that. You see that big canvas when you walk in that says, "Remember why you started." That was the first thing I ever designed when I got my offices at the Armory, and I made it big and I hung it above my desk. And I wanted it to be the first thing I saw every day when I walk in, because there will be opportunities that will come your way that could be very lucrative. But also with that comes maybe taking you away from your family, taking more time. And so you have to determine, like, I didn't start this thing, and you have to know why you started it, and I know why I started mine, and it was 100% to be able to be more with my family and be with my, do the things that I'm passionate about. Because I worked in hotels, and that's a 24/7 gig. You just get pulled away all the time. So for me, when I see opportunities that maybe could be something, but might take me away from what's important to me. And so as you grow and as your business grows and you get more exposure, just whatever it is, that reason you started, don't lose sight of it, because the business will take as much from you as you're willing to give it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So on everyone's journey, obviously there's things learned along the way, and you're on your journey and you've had a journey, but what are some important things you've picked up along the way that you think would help other people in their professional journey?
For one, just do it. Like I said, I spent a long time bouncing back and forth, and maybe it's not worth it. Maybe I'm not cut out for it, that type of thing. And I had some good people that own businesses, kind of motivate me and help me a lot with that stuff. And, Alec Faber at Fortitude and Tom Lau Excavating. Both of those guys, I called them quite a bit, and both of them are just do it. It's the scariest thing you're ever going to do, most rewarding thing you're ever going to do. And like, if you got the work ethic, just do it. And a lot of the stuff that you're scared about is because outside sources kind of preach that it's scary, the insurance, the taxes. That's the easiest part of the whole thing. It's cut and dry. You pay what you have to pay. You fill out what you got to fill out. And it's all the other stuff that's the harder stuff, but it's all worth it. And it ain't going to happen unless you just go do it. So
it's good stuff. Isn't it amazing that they don't teach you that in school? Like, they make you so worried about all the stuff that they want the government to handle for you. When you're like, I don't need to be, I don't enjoy any of the accounting stuff. I've hired somebody at this point to do it all. But it's really not like as daunting as they make it seem.
No, they make it seem like you're going to prison if you don't do, and it's like, that's the easiest part of anything is as long as you just do a little research and follow the directions. Like it's like cooking pasta or something.
Yeah,
It's,
and
it's
I
pretty
always
cut
say,
and dry.
find a local CPA that you can work with, that you can bounce questions off or get advice from. But yeah, you can do a lot of that on your own. So in your opinion, what is it that sets successful people apart from unsuccessful people?
I think if you're chasing just the monetary aspect of it, you're never really going to be successful in the right way. You might be successful, the outsiders looking in, you got the watch, the car, the money, the house and stuff, which is great. Everybody wants that. But if you're not enjoying it and you're not proud of what you did, some people say pride's a bad thing, which it can be, but being proud of what you did and feeling good about it, that, you're not going about it the wrong way and stabbing people in the back and hurting people and stuff to get where you are.
At what cost, yeah.
And then just my old boss, father-in-law, said every job is a show job. And that's fabrication. That's anything. It's like, if people are going to see it or they aren't going to see it, like, that you did it. So do it the right way, be proud of it.
Yeah. Autograph your work with excellence.
Exactly.
We have a saying here in one of our core values that says, under excellence, it says, every job you do is a self-portrait of yourself. So autograph your work with excellence.
I mean, if you're happy managing a McDonald's and that makes you happy, do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Absolutely. And that's the key. So as you were talking about that was the first thing I thought of, is the monetary side of things. People have this idea that money, cars, possessions, houses is going to make them happy.
Yep.
And I don't know one person that has those things that would say those are the things that are making them happy.
Yep.
Those things get you, give you a little bit of joy, excitement. It's nice to come home to a great house. It's nice to drive a nice car. But none of those things make you happy. And I always say happiness is underrated.
Yep.
Tom Brady always used to say, don't try to out happy happiness.
Exactly.
When you have a happy situation, then don't try to continuously try to outdo it. Like,
Exactly.
Be happy. And if you're in a career that you love, I say this too, if you're getting paid to do what you love, you've won the game.
Exactly.
You've won. And money becomes a byproduct. And so if you're doing something that you're passionate about, number one, it's work. Randy Woodworth always says, I know I'll never fail because I'm not going to quit. So if you're willing to just work hard, not quit, stick with it, go at it, and keep your eyes on the idea that this is giving me an opportunity to be happy and not just about making money all the time, that's going to give you a much better opportunity to succeed. And
happiness, I heard this somewhere, I don't know where, but happiness isn't a destination. So it's not somewhere that you can get and you're like, now that I'm here, I'm here. It's a feeling, it's an emotion. So like, you're going to be happy, you're going to be sad, you're going to be mad, you're going to be all, and it's like, you got to make the best out of all of it and realize that you're not happy all the time. But when you are, you got to, like you said, bask in it and it is
double
what it
down
is.
on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy it, live there. And don't think the grass is greener on the other side.
Exactly.
If you're happy, be happy.
It's easy to do, but
yes, sir. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you sharing all this with us and sharing your story. We're coming close to the end of our episode here. We have this segment called Say It in 60, where we try to glean the last ounces of wisdom from you and from our guest. So we basically give you 10 rapid-fire questions in 60 seconds, and the only prize is you get to be a winner today. And
that's all I
just
need.
at this thing, you could still be a winner today if you don't get this. But are you ready?
Yep.
Dan, we got 60 seconds on the clock. All right, here we go. Number 1, what is a must-read book?
Green lights.
What is a daily habit everyone should do?
Drink water.
What is your favorite podcast?
The Dale Jr. Download and this one.
Nice. Michigan or Michigan State?
State.
What is your why?
My family.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
What is your favorite quote?
Everyone wants to eat, few are willing to hunt.
Love it. What is a must-binge TV series?
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. All right, last question. How much time? 25 seconds to tell our audience, what is success to you?
We just kind of covered it. Being happy with what you're doing. Peace, freedom, happiness. having the ability to kind of make your own path and enjoy the whole ride is it to me. So
Love it, man. I love it. Well, thank you. It looks like with some 5 seconds to spare, you did it. Studio audience,
Perfect.
round of applause. Good job, man. Thank you again for sharing this. Now, we have, before we let you go, we have this segment that we've introduced this season. I know you said you've seen it, called the Whisper Challenge.
Yep.
And so this is basically where we put on some headphones. We try to guess what each other's saying. I'm a terrible lip reader, so hopefully you can enunciate better than I can.
equally terrible.
But are you ready, willing and ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. So our man Dan here has some words on a card, and we have some Bluetooth headset. By the way, we had Katie Seville on the podcast last week, and I found out she's diametrically opposed to Bluetooth. And so someone said, the fact that you got her to wear Bluetooth headphones is amazing, which we didn't even know.
Yeah,
But I don't know, something about the radio waves or something, but
I can see it.
do you have any issues with Bluetooth?
No,
Okay.
I can handle it.
Just cell phones.
Yeah.
Just cell phones. What was your band again?
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan. Pull up some Zach Bryan. A little bit of Zach Bryan band. All right. This is his Desert Island album.
Yep. This is probably a terrible Desert Island album, honestly.
All right. All right. Hey, we have to remember to take this off the audio version of the podcast. I know. We were putting this accidentally on we have an audio version of the podcast where nobody can see, it's just audio.
Yep.
And so at the end, people are listening to two people yell back and forth and they're like, what's going
No
on here?
context at all, just screaming.
So, all right, ready? Three words.
3 words.
Okay. NASCAR crew chief.
No idea.
Okay, first word.
Yep.
NASCAR. NASCAR.
One more time.
NASCAR. NASCAR.
Chainsaw?
Yeah, it's so bad. Okay. NASCAR.
This is so hard with music playing in
I
your
know,
ears.
right? NASCAR. NASCAR.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Looks like chainsaw.
NASCAR crew chief. Crew chief.
How long is this word?
It's 3 words. Second word. Crew.
One more time.
Second word. Crew. Crew. Crew.
Truth?
I don't think we're gonna get there.
Oh, wow.
NASCAR crew chief. All right, my turn. Yeah. It's hard. You get going with the words and.
All I can hear is music. In my head, that's one track. All right.
3 words.
Zach.
Stack.
Zach.
Stack.
All right.
Second word.
Morris.
Mortgage.
Morris.
Morris.
Yep.
Morris.
Yep. First word.
First word.
Zach.
Stack.
All right. Third word.
Third word.
Phone.
Phone.
Yep.
Oh, Zach Morris
Yeah.
phone. Dude, we got Morris. I'm I think of the city of Morris.
These are sentences. I can barely get one word.
Yes. It's a good tune. All right.
2 words.
2 words. Okay. American heartbreak. American. First word. American. American.
I am so bad at this.
American. American.
Period.
Second word.
Second word.
Heartbreak. Heartbreak. Heartbreak.
Heartbreak. Oh, American
American
heartbreak. Wow, I'm so far off this.
Dude, me too. You must have these turned up really good because. Two words.
Eternal.
Girls.
Eternal. Eternal.
It looks like you're saying turds.
Second word.
Second word.
Optimist.
Optimist.
Yep. First word.
First word.
Eternal. Eternal.
Optimist like Optimus Prime?
Nope. Optimist.
Oh,
Like,
optimist.
yeah.
Optimist.
Oh, I thought we had that part.
I thought we were saying optimist. Optimist. Eternal optimist.
Yeah.
I thought you said optimist like Optimus Prime.
So either I'm a good enunciator and you're a good guesser, or I'm a terrible guesser and you're a bad enunciator.
It's a combination of all of those things.
Yep.
So,
So
well, man, I appreciate you coming on the show today.
appreciate being here.
our last guest of our season. Wish you all the best. I think you do great work. If you guys haven't checked out his work, you got to go check out his Facebook page, Rare Fusion. It's incredible what they do. Everything's custom made, hand built, right here in Owasso. And there will be a website soon.
Yep,
And we even
that's
talked about
the
doing a
plan.
little video work as well to showcase some of your stuff.
Yep.
Excited to show what you guys do to our community, and excited to watch your business grow.
For sure.
I think, I've interviewed a lot of people, and I don't, there's not too many entrepreneurs in our community that I haven't met or maybe even had on this show. But you have the right mindset, man. You're saying the right things. I feel like you're doing the right things. You're taking pride in your work. So keep on the journey, keep on the path, keep working hard. Don't quit. Keep your priorities ahead of you and
Yep.
what's important. And I think you're going to be just fine. You're going to do really well.
Thank you. For sure. Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. Well, before I let you go, I'm going to have you look at this camera, and I'm going to have you tell our audience where they can find you and Rare Fusion.
So Rare Fusion, Facebook, Rare Fusion Welding and Fabrication, Instagram, Rare Fusion _fab. Kind of got a little TikTok thing going. Not a whole lot of Rare Fusion stuff on there. Some here and there, business stuff, but I don't even know the name of the TikTok. But Rare Fusion, maybe. I think
Check
Rare
it
Fusion
out.
Fab.
I think it's Rare Fusion.
So,
I think I
yep.
follow it. Yeah.
So,
those are good. Keep doing those. TikTok is really growing. As
Yep.
annoying as it is, it's really growing.
It teaches you a lot of I hate my own voice, and it forces you to deal
Try
with
doing
it.
your own
So,
podcast.
I don't.
Yeah, try to do it.
I don't doubt it. So
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it once again. Thanks for coming on the show.
sure. Thank you.
I thank you all for coming on this journey with us. As my mother always said, you can't and never could until you tried. So go out there and try something great, my friends, and don't take the easy way out. We'll see you next time.